Peace, peace. You go live on Instagram. Bring y'all a little closer to me. Peace, everybody. How y'all doing? Grand Risings. It's your girl, Morgan Renee Myers. Tuning in with you all for an early AM devotional. I'm drinking my live alkaline water sourced here locally in North Carolina on Black-owned indigenous land. And yeah, I'm drinking straight out of a gallon. This is mine. Grand Rising, sis. Yeah, gotta get started off right. So I don't want to be before you long. I just got off. I've been trying to do better about waking up earlier. My goal be 5 o'clock, between 5 and 6, but I did not hit the 5 or the 5:30 alarm. I ain't make it. So I woke up at 6, and my dad, he has a prayer line that he does every morning from 6 to 6:30. So I try to get up and listen sometimes. And so today I was able to hop on. And it was a good message. The overall theme was, do we hold ourselves? Are we honest in our evaluation? And I'll post that later on Facebook because that was a good word. Are we honest in our evaluations of ourselves? And he led to some scripture in Corinthians. I can't recall which one it was, but it was basically saying that when we evaluate ourselves, God won't have to evaluate us or something like that. I'm not sure. I grew up super Christian, like I grew up in the church and all that, but I don't remember a lot of biblically contextual things. Like I remember listening to the pastor. Is somebody requesting to be in my video? Well, who want to be in my video for? Hey, Unlimited, I'm not even sure of this name 368, but no, I'm not accepting any requests to be on the video right now. But anyhow, yeah, so I grew up in the church and stuff, and I just don't remember. I read the Bible, but I didn't study it. And there were some pastors that I had that did actually encourage studying and getting a concordance and all this and that. That has nothing to do with what I'm about to read, but just listening to his prayer line and there being a scripture to back up what he said, I found it interesting. So I will be tapping more into the Bible, though, because I do know that there are some keys and some secrets that are within it. And it's an ancient text of knowledge, but also from an African spiritualist standpoint, I understand that us melanated beings had contact with source way before any Christians came and missionaries came and taught anybody anything. Like, we had deeply rooted knowledge and connection to source. So if you've been tuned in, you know that I like to read some devotionals from these two books by Iyanla, Vanzant, and it's a new year, but I read these every year. I really enjoy what I get from these. Maybe I'll get some new ones, but for now, these are doing it for me. So we have Acts of Faith, Daily Meditations for People of Color, and Until Today, Daily Devotions for Spiritual Growth and Peace of Mind by Iyanla Vanzant. So today is Monday, January 10th, 2022. So I'm going to read for January 10th. And it reads as follows. It starts off with a scripture. If thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out. Matthew 5:29. The only way to eliminate stress and pain is to stop doing the things that create it. It is easy to see what others do to us while we forget the drama we create for ourselves. How? Take your pick. The need to be right, lack of life purpose, how we think others see us, trying to fix the world, dishonesty with self and others, accepting someone else's truth, seeking material wealth over spiritual values, doing it alone. My way is the right way. Fear of the future, negative thought patterns, trying to prove yourself to others, anger over the past, telling other people what to do. It all boils down to not knowing who we are. When I know me, I stop doing what's not good for me. Reflection. What did you do or say today that the real you would like to erase? Why not do it? This is I needed this word. Because I can admit, I'll be stuck in the past more often than I would like. More so because I just be so disappointed or not understanding how and why things went wrong. But also, that it said, what did it say, anger over the past. It's anger because it's like, yeah, I allowed certain things to happen, or no, I didn't have a boundary set here, or I allowed this person because of who they were to step over this boundary, and then I end up getting hurt because of it. So I'd be upset at certain patterns that I've exhibited and may still be exhibiting when I thought I was over it. That dishonesty with self and others is a big one. Yeah, that was a whole good one. Well, the only way to eliminate stress and pain is to stop doing the things that create it. So understanding, checking yourself, doing better, being intentional, honoring thyself. That's what I got from this devotional. Good job, January 10th. Okay. Now what you got to say until today? Hold on 1 second, y'all. Okay. And now we're in until today. Peace, Grand Rises, everyone. Until today. I really just like the breakdown of how she says what she says, but then it's like for you to interpret, as with any reading, really. But all right, so it starts off. Life will work for me when I realize the experience of my faith keeps my faith alive. You must have faith and experience in order to live life fully. You must have faith that all of the things you expect from life are possible for you. You must have faith that no matter what life brings you, you must have faith. You must have faith that no matter what life brings you, you will be able to handle it. You must have faith that your faith will eventually lead to good experiences. Experiences teach you that your faith is paying off. Once you have had an experience, you know what you know. When you know, you become more faithful. Yes. Oh my goodness. When you know what you know, I had to learn how to get over worrying. When I first graduated college in 2013, my first job out of college was going door to door selling stuff. And then I moved from North Carolina, where I've been born and raised here my whole life, to Chicago. And I stayed there 6 months doing door to door. And then I stayed there 6 months, went to Maryland, was doing door to door. And I piggybacked to that part of my lifetime because that was so pivotal for me. It showed me that I could really do anything. If you can knock doors in the dead cold of winter in Chicago, commission only, and do well and prosper. There was some ups and some downs and some hiccups, and some bills went unpaid some days, and call mom for some help every now and then, but it wasn't a consistent thing. For the most part, it was making bank, commission only, enjoying life, having a good time. But I was a worrywart. Like, I worried about so much, and I was kind of conditioned to do that. I didn't know any better. But when I started to understand faith and how to utilize it, and just know that things I'm going to be taken care of, because the God of the universe, the creator, would not have me nowhere I'm not supposed to be. I ended up switching jobs while in Chicago. I went up there for door-to-door, left one company, went to another door-to-door company, then ended up leaving that company and did something totally different that wasn't door-to-door. So I'm in a new city. I had 3 different jobs in the 6 months that I was there. Like, how crazy and scary is that? But it was faith. I learned how to activate my faith and really just believe that source had me. And so that's why I like when it says, when you know what you know, you need an experience to know what you know. So now I know what I know. I know I will always be protected and covered. I know that I can go anywhere and sustain myself just based off the gifts that the creator has given me. I can obviously talk to people at their door in the comfort of their home. And sometimes not even always about the money. There were some beautiful people that let me come in their home. And probably because, I had this, I'm a beautiful young woman, and I'm from the country, so that probably, and a lot of people, you'd be surprised, in Chicago, a lot of their family is from down south. They're like mixed all over. Like, a lot of people that are in bigger cities sometimes are not even from there. Their people are from the south. So it could have been comforting, it could have been exciting. Got this country girl at your doorstep. So I done been welcoming people home and had good meals and played spades, took a little shot. It was a good time. But it took me getting to a place of faith, knowing that I was going to be okay. So that experience, that's why I refer to it so often, because it stood out the most. So let me back up. It said, you must have faith that no matter what life brings you, you will be able to handle it. You must have faith that your faith will eventually lead to good experiences. Experiences teaches you that your faith is paying off. Once you have had an experience, you know what you know. And that's why I brought up this story. Now I know what I know. When you know, you become more faithful. And I'm more faithful because of that experience. Amen, as you should. Ashe. The difference between faith and experience is like this. One, you must work on. The other one works on you. You must work to keep your faith alive. While you are working on faith, it may feel as if you are going against the grain. There may be no evidence that what you believe has any validity. Still, you must move forward faithfully until you have the experience that will lead you to knowing. An experience leaves a mark on your consciousness. An experience will guide your thoughts and your actions. An experience can open your heart to new horizons or close your heart in fear. In the midst of an experience, you must have faith that you will ultimately reap some benefit from what you now know to be true. It is important to know what experiences to put your faith in. If you have an unpleasant experience, have faith that you will learn something new, useful, or productive. When you have a pleasant or productive experience, have faith that you can duplicate the experience and make it better. Have faith that your mind and heart will always be open to bigger, better experiences than those you have already had. Until today, you may not have realized that your faith and your experiences work hand in hand. Just for today, use your faith to create better experiences. Use your experiences to activate a deeper sense of faith. Today, I am devoted to faithfully seeking to broaden my experiences and to experiencing a deeper faith. That was good. I like that. So, yeah. Pay close attention to your experiences and how you activate faith in your life. Do you have faith? That's something to start right there. Do I even have faith and stuff? Or do I worry all the time? Am I just in so much disbelief and unbelief that things can work out how they need to? I have one more text I want to read out of. And maybe I'll be consistent in this if Spirit leads me to do so. But I want to do the AM devotionals after I have my me time. I had to get up, do my own stretching, and do all of that. But I wanted to come on here before it got too late. Maybe catch some people before they get out the door. But when I was in the church, I had a pastor. And if I'm not mistaken, he gave me this book to read. And I never did. And it's very short. Each chapter is very short. So I was like, why not read it along with my devotionals? Because I'm also in a space where I just want to be a better individual. I want to, where my career is headed, and the things that I'm into is, for me, it's best to be on point and focused and continuing to self-develop. And there was a point in time when I was in network marketing, when I was still in college, when I was in my early 20s, much younger than I am now. I'm 31 now. And self-development, personal development was an active part of my daily life. And I have fallen off from that tremendously. And so I'm going to get back to it. And reading books by people who seem to get it is a great way to learn about yourself, to learn new things, and to continuously develop your personal self. Kind of like, like we study for other things, or we know so much about other people and what they got going on, or so we think. We need to be doing that for ourselves, evaluating ourselves, analyzing ourselves, always trying to grow and do better, because we're not perfect. And for those of us that have chaos in our life, sometimes we are the problem. It's not always other people. So, anyways, moving on. The name of this book is called The Science of Being Great. It's by Wallace D. Wattles. And like I said, each chapter is very short. So I'll read the table of contents. Nice talk. Thanks. Ask of Picasso Moni. Peace. Grand Rises. So it says, it's a few different chapters. So I'll just read a few of them. Any person may become great. Hereditary and opportunity, the source of power, the mind of God, preparation, the social point of view, the individual point of view, consecration, identification, ideation, realization, hurry and habit, thought, action at home, action abroad, some further explanations more about thought, Jesus' idea of greatness, a view of evolution, serving God, a mental exercise, and a summary of this book. So, like I said, it was given to me by a former pastor, so it probably has some cadences of, Christianity strewn throughout it, but a good read is a good read. So, let's get into it. The Science of Being Great, Chapter 1, Any Person May Become Great. There is a principle of power in every person. By the intelligent use and direction of this principle, man can develop his own mental faculties. Man has an inherent power by which he may grow in whatsoever direction he pleases, and there does not appear to be any limit to the possibilities of his growth. No man has yet become so great in any faculty that it is possible for someone else to become greater. The possibility is in the original substance, and is written original is capital O and substance is capital S. The possibility is in the original substance from which man is made. Genesis is omniscience flowing into man. Genesis is more than talent. Talent may merely be one faculty developed out of proportion to other faculties, but genius is the union of man and God in the acts of the soul. Great men are always greater than their deeds. They are in connection with a reserve of power that is without limit. We do not know where the boundary of the mental powers of man is. We do not even know that there is a boundary. The power of conscious growth is not given to the lower animals. It is man's alone and may be developed and increased by him. The lower animals can, to a great extent, be trained and developed by man, but man can train and develop himself. He alone has this power, and he has it to an apparently unlimited extent. The purpose of life for man is growth, just as the purpose of life for trees and plants is growth. Y'all know, talk garden to me. Yes, okay. One moment. I'm a little dehydrated, y'all. I ain't been drinking my water like I'm supposed to. Let's see if I can get through this whole gallon a day. Make up for lost time. Alright, so the purpose of life is for man is growth, just as the purpose of life for trees and plants is growth. Trees and plants grow automatically and along fixed lines. Man can grow as he will. Trees and plants can only develop certain possibilities and characteristics. Man can develop any power which is or has been shown by any person anywhere. Nothing that is possible in spirit is impossible in flesh and blood. Nothing that man can think is impossible in action. Nothing that man can imagine is impossible of realization. Man is formed for growth, and he is under the necessity of growing. It is essential to his happiness that he should continuously advance. Life without progress becomes unendurable, and the person who ceases from growth must either become imbecile or insane. The greater and more harmonious and well-rounded his growth, the happier man will be. There is no possibility in any man that is not in every man. But if they proceed naturally, no two men will grow into the same thing or be alike. Every man comes into the world with a predisposition to grow along certain lines, and growth is easier for him along those lines than in any other way. This is a wise provision, for it gives endless variety. It is as if a gardener should throw all his bulbs into one basket. To the superficial observer, they would look alike, but growth reveals a tremendous difference. So of men and women. They are like a basket of bulbs. One may be a rose and add brightness and color to some dark corner of the world. One may be a lily and teach a lesson of love and purity to every eye that sees. One may be a climbing vine and hide the rugged outlines of some dark rock. One may be a great oak, among whose bough the birds shall nest and sing, and beneath whose shade the flocks shall rest at noon. But everyone will be something worthwhile, something rare, something perfect. That's so beautiful. Like, we're all here, and even if you're a twin or whatever, or have siblings, like, you're still all different. That's great. That's so cool. There are, like, nobody's here to do what you do. Nobody can do it in the way that you do it. Even when people have similarities. Like, there are people that, nobody really likes to be compared to anybody, but sometimes you're like, oh, these two people put me in mind of each other, or they sound like each other, or they have a similar vibe. And though, who knows? Maybe their spirits do have some similarities, and they're both showing up a certain way, but everybody has their own thing that they're adding, contributing to this world through their being, because we're all spiritual beings having a human experience. So, yes, something rare, something perfect. There are undreamed of possibilities in the common lives all around us. In a large sense, there are no common people. In times of national stress and peril, the cracker box loafer of the corner store and the village drunkard become heroes and statesmen through the quickening of the principle of power within them. There's a genius in every man and woman waiting to be brought forth. Every village has its great man or woman, someone to whom all go for advice in time of trouble, someone who is indistinctly recognized as being great in wisdom and insight. To such a one, the minds of the whole community turns in times of local crisis. He is tactically recognized as being great. He does small things in a great way. He could do great things as well if he did, but undertake them. So can any man. So can you. So, Grand Risings, if you're just joining in, thanks for the love over here on Facebook. I saw that. Thank you. I'm reading The Science of Being Great. Very short chapter. I'm about done with it. This next page, I'm done with it. And this is chapter 1. Any person may become great. And I just got done reading my devotionals from Iyanla, Vanzant, like I've been doing. Y'all can rewatch if you like. So it says, the principle of power gives us just what we ask of it. If we only undertake little things, it only gives us power for little things. But if we try to do great things in a great way, it gives us all the power there is. But beware of undertaking great things in a small way, of that we shall speak farther on. There are 2 mental attitudes a man may take. One makes him like a football. It has resilience and reacts strongly when force is applied to it, but it originates nothing. It never acts of itself. Hold on. This is in my way. Okay. Where I'm at. Let me just back up. There are 2 mental attitudes a man may take. One makes him like a football. It has resilience and reacts strongly when force is applied to it, but it originates nothing. It never acts of itself. There is no power within it. Men of this type are controlled by circumstances and environment. Their destinies are decided by things external to themselves. The principle of power within them is never really active at all. They never speak or act from within. The other attitude makes man like a flowing spring. Power comes out from the center of him. He has within him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. He radiates force. He is felt by his environment. He hath life in himself. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm jumping all over the place. He radiates force. He is felt by his environment. The principle of power in him is in constant action. He is self-active. He hath life in himself. No greater good can come to any man or woman than to become self-active. No greater good can come to any man or woman than to become self-active. All the experiences of life are designed by providence to force men and women into self-activity, to compel them to cease from being creatures of circumstances and master their environment. In his lowest stage, man is the child of chance and circumstance and the slave of fear. His acts are all reactions resulting from the impingement upon him of forces in his environment. He acts only as he is acted upon. He originates nothing. But the lowest savage has within him a principle of power sufficient to master all that he fears. And if he learns this and becomes self-active, he becomes as one of the gods. Lower G. The awakening of the principle of power in man is the real conversation, the passing from death to life. It is when the dead hear the voice of the Son of Man and come forth and live. It is the resurrection and the life. When it is awakened, man becomes a son of the highest, and all power is given to him in heaven and on earth. Nothing was ever in any man that is not in you. No man ever had more spiritual or mental power than you can attain, or did greater things than you can accomplish. You can become what you want to be. And that's the end of that. And I think that's a great place to end. Ain't nothing else to say. You can become what you want to be. So I hope this was great for you. I don't have my morning mantra beside me, but I'm about to go do that before I get my day started. But thank y'all for tuning in. I hope the read did something for you. I hope y'all have a great day. If you have not already, woke up, stretched, drank water, gave thanks, went over your affirmations or goals, moisturized your face, brush your teeth and all of that before you hopped on here, or before you get in your car and go to work, or whatever you got to do today, make sure you take at least 5 minutes of self-care for yourself. Do some praying, some meditating, some deep breathing, shaking some shit off, do some journaling, whatever it is you got to do to get your life. Do that, because social media gonna still be here in 5 minutes. So I hope y'all have a great day, and I'll tune in with y'all later. Peace.